I mean, listen, the crazy part of this is when K stepped down and said it was his final year, and everybody, including myself, was shocked that Jon Skeyer was going to be the pick. We talked about it. We were like, all right, can Skeyer keep this thing going? Right? Can he keep it going? On one hand, he's 33 years old or whatever he is. He might be 34 by now. So he can connect to these kids. But I didn't anticipate them actually stepping it up in terms of recruiting. But I do think, again, I think Skeyer can connect. He's young. They have a young staff. They promoted Nolan Smith. I've said they should have done that for 2 years. I think Nolan Smith is an absolute star in the making. Chris Carrawell, I think the staff is cohesive. They're young. Obviously, Skeyer can use Coach K to help close these deals. But he's got 3 top 10 players. It's not just Dereck Lively, the number 2 player in the country. You've got Dariq Whitehead, number 5 or so, or whatever he is, 5 to 10. Kyle Filipowski, again, like a top 10-ish player. And Filipowski and Lively are going to be awesome together because Filipowski is that kind of new age face-up big. And as you said, Lively is a dominant defender, shot blocker, runner. And he can make some threes. He's not consistent with it, but he could be consistent with it if he continues to work at it.
So the thing that I think is the most interesting about the 2022 class, and I'm curious to get your take on this, is that we've heard for the last couple of years how Penny is coming for the throne, and how Penny Hardaway is going to take over for John Calipari, and how Penny Hardaway is the guy that's going to be replacing Kentucky and Duke as the best recruiter in all of college basketball. And here we are in a class of 2022, and it seems like everybody is going to Duke or Kentucky, or reclassifying and going to Memphis.
Well, what Penny did was get those guys to reclassify, though. So he was dominant because he got Amani Bates and Jalen Duren, who were really, they might have been 1 and 2, whatever the case. I'm not sure there was really a clear-cut 1 in this class. But I think Bates, Duren, I would have had Duren below. I would have had Bates, Sharp, Lively. That would have been my top 3 in some order. So Memphis and Penny gets, 1 elite player, and then I think Duren's a next tier, wherever you want to put them, and both of them reclassify. The big thing that I thought Calipari was going to completely run recruiting when all this happened. When Roy retired, when Kay decided to publicly step down, in a year, I really thought it was going to open it up for Cal to reclaim his dominance. And he has to some extent. He got his first number 1 player since good old Nerlens Noel, who wasn't really maybe a number 1 player, but it's been a decade. He got Shaedon Sharpe, who I think is the best player in this class. But Skeyer has been step for step with him right now. And that's the crazy part of it. But the Duke brand does mean so much. And ultimately, the crazy part too, Duke really targeted 4 guys in this class. Again, Lively, Whitehead, Filipowski, and then they got a kid in the
Jaden Schutt.
Who?
Jaden Schutt.
Yeah, Jaden Schutt, a 2 guard out of Illinois. And those were the 4 they targeted. And they still have 2 more that they want to get at this point. And, I mean, it could be one of the best classes of all time, numbers-wise. And again, to think that Jon Skeyer is going to bring in a group next year that if they can keep some veterans and mesh them with some of these young guys right out of the gates, they could have a chance of going to a Final Four. I mean, imagine that, like Skeyer, right out of the gates, going to a Final Four. It's not out of the question.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and push back on like the greatest recruiting class ever. I've saw some other people kind of reference that.
No, I'm not saying because the greatest. I'm saying like.
Well, no. Here's the thing: when you look at the number, like how many of the top 10 or how many of the top 15, and like the way that they kind of do this stuff is like you get a certain number of points for a guy that's ranked at a certain amount. Yes. Based on those things, yes, this is going to be a great recruiting class. But let me ask you this question: is there anybody in this class that you would take over a Zion Williamson? Is there any group of 3 players
in college? I might. I mean, again, the whole thing with Zion, maybe not. Right, the whole thing.
Wait. You would take Shaden Sharp in college over Zion Williamson. I want you on the record on this. We have 500 people live watching this right now, and I want you on the record to say that you will take Shaden Sharp in college over Zion Williamson.
Sharp. I love him. And you know what he is? Here's what he is. Here's what he is that Zion wasn't. Like, he can score at all three levels. He can shoot it from deep. He can get to the basket. He can dunk over you. Like, Zion could dunk over you, but he couldn't shoot the ball, and he was hurt. Now, he was a marketing superstar, so and a highlight freak, all that. But like Shaden Sharp, I friggin' love this kid. I love him. I do. I do.
That is officially the most unbelievable thing that I've ever heard you say.
Okay.
At least we got you on the record. There's your hot take.
You got me on the record, and I ain't gonna back down from it. I friggin' love Shaden Sharp, and I think But go ahead.
Well, no, all I was just gonna say is that the big thing with this class is yes, Duke and Kentucky are loading up on the top players in this class, but this is not like those guys are not as good as some of these other classes that we've seen. Right. Yes.
Well, the other part is, listen, the other part that we got to talk about is, last I checked, I don't think the G League has filled up its 5 or 6 spots yet. Correct? So who are they going to get? They're going to get somebody. Now, obviously the difference these days is NIL. You know, Kentucky can pay Shaden Sharp more than the G League can at this point. So they'll probably be okay. I don't think the G League's going to get a ton of top 5 players anymore. I think that you're going to look at the second tier guys. You know, they're going to get guys in that like 25 range that frankly aren't going to command, 600,000 necessarily, or it's going to be an even deal. Keontae George is the one that I'd heard about, and he's committed to Baylor. I had heard that he could be a G League candidate at the end of the day. But listen, Duke and Kentucky going toe-to-toe again, and now it's not K and Cal. Now it's Jon Skeyer and Cal. And toe-to-toe is probably a term that should be used loosely because Duke didn't try for Shaden Sharp. Kentucky did try for Lively. I mean, Duke beat Kentucky. Square up for Dereck Lively.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you liked what you saw here, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Maybe leave a comment. Interactions like that really do help grow the channel, and they help more people like you find this content. So if you liked what you saw here today and you want to help me out, that's all you got to do. See you on the next video.